Heroes family, welcome to another thrilling installment of Blacksit to Panama, the show where we discuss all things Exodus from the United States. I'm your host, Big Will, and I want to thank you once again for joining us. So Blacksiteers, you already know I try my best to keep it 100% real for you. So today we're going to talk about an issue that really affects expats in Panama. That's driving and owning a car in Panama. You ready? Buckle up. Let's get ready for a ride. Corazón. Tú me pides corazón. Tú me pides corazón. Tú me pides corazón. Tú me pides corazón. All right, fam. So let me cover the driving in Panama piece because it's pretty straightforward. Number one, driving in Panama is not all that different than the United States. You're driving on the right side of the road in both cases. Red means stop, green means go. A lot of the street signs are the same. The differences are going to be things here are measured in kilometers versus miles. So when you see 60, that means 60 kilometers per hour. That's got to be like around 35, 40 miles an hour. So just be mindful of that. I think the fastest that you can go in Panama, the fastest that I've seen is 100 kilometer an hour speed limit, which is 60 miles an hour. So there's that. Now, as far as the driving experience itself, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's really not for the faint of heart. My best overall impression of driving in Panama City is DC rush hour beltway traffic mixed in with a little bit of freaknik. Anybody been in both, y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's hectic, regular rules don't apply, turn signals are a sign of weakness. The best thing I can say for you is just expect the unexpected. Defensive driving is a must in Panama, especially considering the prevalence of mopeds and motorcycles. And they are not shy about riding in between traffic. I cannot tell you how many times I've been surprised by a motorcycle coming up on the right-hand side of our SUV. So I know that they're taking their lives into their own hands when they do that, but I'm just telling you, it's not for the faint of heart. It gets better once you get outside of Panama City. Panama City is an urban environment. I mean, it's downtown DC, it's downtown LA, it's downtown Miami. That's what you're going to get. And the cars are smaller here, so a lot more zipping and zagging, but it's not for the faint of heart. It's doable. That's enough about that. It's doable. Once you get outside the city, where we live, it's a lot easier. It's a lot safer. Sonia feels comfortable driving out here. She's running errands and everything. The city's not for the faint of heart, right? Now, if you're anything like we were a year ago, you're knee-deep into research, trying to figure out where you're going to be in Panama, what you need to take to Panama, and one of the biggest questions you have is what to do with my car. What am I going to do with my whip? I'm going to cut to the chase and rip this Band-Aid off for all of those folks waiting to hear if I tell you to bring a car or buy a car. Don't bring your car from the States to Panama. It's really not a good idea. I know what I'm saying hurts. Y'all, I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee back at home, and for the last couple of years, I was doing stuff in anticipation of bringing here, getting it more rugged, getting stuff added to it, new lights, because I was like, I'm going to be traveling the mountains of Panama. Then I came here, I got to sit down with some expats who have been through the experience, and thank God they talked me out of it. There's a whole list of reasons why you want to think about leaving your car in America. Leave it back so you can have something to drive when you go back to visit or sell it like we did. So shipping your car to Panama is going to be expensive. At a minimum, you're going to be looking at $2,500 to $3,000 just to get it on a boat to a port here. Now, we wouldn't discuss getting it through customs or through the port because there's a whole lot of money involved with that as well. So, customs and duties, off the top, everybody that is importing a car into Panama is going to have to pay a 7% tax on the value of the vehicle. And guess who gets to decide the value of the vehicle? Not you, the Panamanian officials. Everybody has to pay a 7% tax on the goods and services tax just on importing the vehicle. Then there's an additional duty, let me get my information, duty fee import that can be anywhere from 15% to 25% of the assessed value of your vehicle. So, oh, by the way, I forgot to say, you have to own the vehicle free and clear. So you can't be making payments on your car and expect to bring it into Panama. You're going to have to own it free and clear, and you're still going to end up paying, let's see, 15 at the low end plus 7. That's 22% of the value of your car just to bring it here. You're going to need a ton of documentation on the ownership of the car in order to get it into the country. And once you get it here, maintenance is going to be a concern. So American cars are not that popular in Panama. You see some Fords and some Jeeps and everything, but for the most part, that's about it. Most of the cars here are Japanese or Korean. Toyota, Kia, Hyundai, they run in the spot here. So, and apparently, I'm just learning this is new information for me as well. Auto manufacturers manufacture cars differently based on the region of the planet where the car is being sold. So if you bought your car in the United States, that's a North American car. It was made for the United States and Canada. The cars made for Central America have, in some cases, different parts. The parts may screw on completely different. So for my research, I think the cars, like Toyota, manufactures cars in Mexico or Guatemala for Central America, and it's different parts than the Toyota that you are going to bring from the States. So maintenance is going to be a major concern. So even if you're shipping a car that is common to Panama, the parts and maintenance may still be an issue for you. So please don't be mad at me. I know Big Will told me I can't bring my car. Look, Big Will is just trying to help you out. It's going to cost you a grip, and there's no telling how long it's going to take you to get your car through customs either. I mean, they say it's supposed to take 5 to 6 days, but you can be without your car for some weeks now, and I'm not even sure what the process is for, who you need to get on the Panamanian side to go to the port to get your car and get it out of customs. So cars here are readily available. They cost they're a little bit cheaper than you're going to find in the States. And you can get a lot of the same models. And there's a lot of different models here. So please consider leaving your car at home, sell your car, and just get a car when you get here. All right, so let's talk about buying a car in Panama. That's exactly what we did, and I'm going to tell you up front, I made some mistakes, so I'm making this video so that you can learn from some of my mistakes and not make some of the boneheaded things that I did, because, I'm a smart guy. I thought I could I bought cars before in the States. I can do this in Panama. It's a different country, it's a different vibe. You don't know what you don't know. So if you're going to buy a car in Panama, and you're going to buy a used car, I'm going to suggest that you use a car broker. There are services here, there are consultants here that will act as a third-party intermediary to negotiate the price of your car, to help you find a car that's in good, sound mechanical condition. So one of the issues is Carfax doesn't exist here. There's no service like that in Panama where you can track a vehicle's history. So you're really at the mercy of whatever dealership you're dealing with, and how they can cosmetically hide defects, which is exactly what happened to us. So, follow the show, you've seen us in the car before. It's a 2009 Honda Pilot. We paid $9,000 cash for it because we didn't want a car note. And the test drive went wonderful. There were a couple of incidental things, like one of the tail lights was out, and I knew that was an easy, stop by the auto parts store, get a bulb, throw it in there, and keep it moving. But there were a lot of surprises as well. Car brokers, if we had used a car broker, we would have bought a different car altogether because there were some mechanical defects in that car that were not apparent on a test drive, nor were they apparent when I took it to the dealership after first buying the car to get it overhauled and serviced and all the fluids changed and belts and everything, because I wanted the car to be at a pretty normal place before I started messing it up. So because Big Will was too smart for himself, we bought the car and just finished going through a series of major repairs. So just over $5,000 worth of repairs, getting the car back up to a standard where it should be. Part of the issue is Panamanians haven't had cars as long as Americans. They don't do the same kind of maintenance as we do in some cases. Another factor that goes into it is the availability of parts. Here, if you're not, if you don't go to the dealership, you're not going to get the parts that you need for your car. So in a lot of cases, when something goes wrong, the mechanics here will weld parts together for you. Now, when choosing a car broker, make sure you use someone that has a lot of good reviews and some referrals. I'm a country boy. I believe in first-hand referrals. I'm going to put the name of a car broker in the description below that has come highly recommended. As a matter of fact, if you saw my interview with the Cisner family, this is who they used to use the car. I learned a lot from them. I learned what I was supposed to do because out of everybody I know, they're the ones who are not having car trouble. The last piece on car ownership here in Panama is going to be about the insurance. So it's just like the States. You must have liability insurance in order to drive your car. So we bought the car at the dealership, and they told us about the insurance, and they were able to hook us up with an insurance agent over the phone, and she sold us a policy. Now the rates are cheap. Oh my God! I think we paid our full year premium right there on the spot. It was like $340 for. So we're good. However, we're just getting the car back. So just so that you're aware of the patience that's going to be needed when you're dealing with the insurance companies here. My accident happened in November of last year. It took the insurance company 2.5 months just to tell me to pay the deductible. Now, there's some language barrier issues in there. I'm trying to call customer service and they only speak Spanish. So, hey, can I get your WhatsApp information? Because I can translate Spanish and text it to you. But I don't speak it well enough to discuss this. I can order food, I can order a taxi, I can count money, but I can't talk about car repairs. So it took a while, and maybe having a middleman or someone to translate would have sped up the process a little bit. Also, once they got the deductible, it took them another month just to order the parts. So there was some major delays here. Now, once they ordered the parts came within 3 to 4 weeks. The workshop, the body shop called me and, hey, bring the car here. Once that process got started, it was pretty much like clockwork. They put me in a rental car. They took care of everything, no muss, no fuss. Now, in my case, the Honda Pilot, Honda's a great car. That's one of the things. Let me go back for using a car broker. One of the reasons why I bought this car is because it was a Honda. We've owned a Honda before, and it was extremely reliable. And I felt comfortable buying this 2009 Honda Pilot. What I did not know, and what a car broker would have been able to inform me, is that model car has a hard time getting parts here in Panama. That happens with some models. They just don't get those parts anymore. So anything that happens, you're going to have to get parts from the manufacturer shipped, and that takes at least a month to get here, and it adds all kinds of headaches to the process. So if I had to do all over again, I would use a car broker and I'd be pushing a Kia or something right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Them joints get around. But overall, the experience is, it's one that I feel some kind of way about. It's definitely something I would put into the con list as far as moving to Panama is concerned, but it's not in the deal breaker list. I mean, if my biggest problem is dealing with that car, then I don't really have big problems because that's pretty simple. That's just, time and a little patience and giving somebody some money. I mean, at the end of the day, Panama is still a great place to live without much stress. I'm eating well. As a matter of fact, dinner just came, so let me wrap this up so that we can eat. Thank you so much for joining us again for an episode of Blacks into Panama. If this is your first time, please do me the honor of liking and subscribing. That way you'll be notified when new content comes on and we can be blessed showing you that content. Repeat offenders, guys, thank you so much. You are such a blessing to my life. I love running into you. Please keep shouting me out in the wild and look for bigger things. I got a major announcement coming up in about a week for my repeat offenders. We're going to be talking about some major changes coming up and a lot of ways for you to get more information and more contact with Big Will. All right, so stay tuned for that. Everyone, thanks so much for joining this time. Until next time, ciao.